金系書斎内に魔女の闇が充満せしこと。
よいぞ、闇の力が落ちてきた。
Yeah, let's go.
観測者がそれで
じい様はようやく小うるさい夏日おばさんが姿を消したので。
どうして
Yeah, he fucking snuck up behind her,
こ
didn't
の
he?
ようなイカれた夜にイカれた天気の夜空をめでることに勝る酒の魚はないわ。
夏日おばさんがトイレという資格にいるじい様には書斎を自由に歩き回ることが可能になる。
It was possible for him to move without Natsu's knowledge. It was possible for him to move without contradicting what Natsu knew.
警告、バトラが書斎扉に接近するであります。金系書斎扉のロック解除時にはそう夏日に不審に思われずして扉より出ることかなわぬと知り
Oh,
た
I
い。
know. Because Ballard acted as though he was heading for the door, Gertrude, who was sitting at the door, immediately sent out a warning. Maybe it was possible for him to leave the study while in Natsu's blind spot. However,
そうよ、音よ。オートロックの解除には大きな音がするの。書斎内の死角に夏日がいたとしてもオートロックを解除すると不審に思わないはずがない。金系夏日は扉の開く音、在室中に聞くことはなかりけりこと、申し上げ立てまつる。
nah, keep going. The washroom and toilet are very close to the door. Even if they hadn't been, that auto lock always lets off such a massive sound. You should be able to hear that sound no matter what. Natsu had already spoken with Erika and the others about the details of the previous night, making it quite clear that nothing out of the ordinary had occurred. Any argument that relied on Natsu failing to hear the lock wouldn't work. But that's not the argument, is it?
カス扉より金像が出入ること、かなわぬものなり。金系無駄なあがきと申し上げた意図愚かな。
確かに破れねえな。だが窓のあんたはどうだ。
Okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Turning his back to Gertrude, who claimed that leaving through the door was impossible. Badler locked his gaze on Cornelia, who stood in front of the window.
しっかり張れよ。結界とやらお前ぶっ飛ぶぞ。
By now, Badler's target was clear. It was Cornelia. It was the window. He was going to smash this closed room from the window. Not expecting to be chosen as the target herself, Cornelia was overawed for just a second, but then she quickly regained her composure. What a face. On rare occasions, struggling, fleeing witches would directly challenge the barriers Cornelia set up. Such witches were always fighting desperately, on the brink of death.
金系バトラの標的は注意申し上げるものなり。意図愚かなる神よ、この愚かなる子羊を憐れみたまえ。
羊じゃねえ、後ろ宮家当主ってのはな、片翼でもな。その程度の窓で書斎にいつまでも閉じ込めておけると思うんじゃねえぜ。
Starting from a low posture, both silent and supple, Badler ran forward like a white leopard.
まさかこいつは。これは金系、我が赤が破れる道理はなし。そなたの望み叶うことなしと知りたまえ。
Cornelia thrust out both her arms and made a sign. When she did that, a red barrier closed in front of Badler.
無駄と申し上げ立てまつる。後ろ宮金系、我が窓は内より閉ざされ、また夏日が金像を逃したることもなし。
Natsu didn't help him escape, you're right.
夏日おばさんがじい様を逃がしたんじゃねえ。じい様夏日おばさんに隠れて自ら抜け出したとしたら、
どうして窓から自分で出る。
このイカれた晩に雨天へ酒の座興程度にしかならぬわ。私にとって
でもここ3階ですよ。ありえません。
そなたとて階段を降りると金像なら3階くらいは
やりかねませんな。
やりかねませんね。
そんなバカな。
Yeah! Blue cracks appeared in Cornelia's red barrier, and it shattered with a crisp sound. It was all far too quick. It looked almost as though she'd gotten out of the way herself in fear of Badler.
エンドレスナイン、魔法抵抗力、エンドレスナイン。コーネリア様、防げません。退避を。
the same time the barrier shattered, the window behind Cornelia's back was flung open. The curtains fluttered for just an instant. Though it was all filled with rain, the heavens and the courtyard were spread out in front of them. A fitting exit for an eagle leaping from this closed room.
コーネリア、結界を張り直すのです。
御意、上司ドラノール。ここを破ること、断じて叶わぬと知りたまえ。
Cornelia quickly returned to her senses and set up another red barrier. However, this was her last one.
金系、慎しなれば、金蔵の窓よりの脱出をならば、外より閉められる窓の施錠、窓は内側より施錠されていた。
ダメだな。
ああ、全然ダメだぜ。
Kinzo and Battler grinned. Did she think this feeble red could block the charge of Battler and Kinzo, the two family heads?
じい様が窓より飛び出した後、夏日おばさんはちょっとしたとして窓辺に近づき、窓が開きっぱなしに。
私がまさか窓から抜け出したなど。
ああ、だから夏日おばさん、じい様はベッドで寝ていると思ったの当然のことなんだ。
Now that Battler had found the answer, the red barrier was more fragile than thin glass. The red magical wall of certainty had been smashed again so easily that it disgraced the name of certainty itself. Unbelievable, right? That barrier was more firm than any Ronove had ever used against Jessica, and yet had been destroyed so easily. Though Battler was rushing fiercely and had almost reached Cornelia, she didn't step aside. Her steel spirit, worthy of the name... I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, didn't allow her to step aside. She took a charm from her pocket, placed it against the thin air, and made a sign. Then, not red, but blue burned there. Though it was far more frail than the red barrier, it was her last method of resistance.
ここは通さぬ通さぬ。されどここは3階。窓よりいかにして翼なき人間がここは通さぬ通さぬ。それを知りたまえ。
ぐだぐだうるさいわ。そこで見ておれ。
これがその答えだ。
Battler jumped. He burst through Cornelia and her blue barrier, knocked them away. His body flew out the window through the darkness of the rainy sky. Fragments of the blue barrier scattered, beautifully adorning the surrounding air. The closed room had been smashed open. Battler flew out of the mansion. Through the sky above the rainy courtyard, all the raindrops became small round gems and were scattered through the air. Battler flew across the treasure box world of that exquisite stormy sky, through the countless gems of rain that filled it. Sky over the world frozen in time, Delanor and Battler faced each other. If Battler, who had smashed and flown out the window, was like a knight leaping off a white horse, then Delanor was another knight who floated in the air waiting for him. In the air above the courtyard, surrounded by the Ushinomiya mansion and frozen in time, the true new head of the Ushinomiya family and the disciple of heaven who would test him crossed paths.
見事です。たとえあなたが中庭に落ち生きようが死のうが、金蔵に密室が打ち破れたことに変わりはない。命を捨てて飛んだあなたこそ殉教者。よくぞ我らの密室結界を打ち破る。あっぱれです。後ろ宮バトラー。されど我こそは首席異端審問官ドラノル・エノックス。みすみすと逃すことはできません。最後に我がたちにあなたと交える栄誉を与えたまえ。
ああ、歓迎してやらこのゲーム。案外甘くないぜ。
In this world where the gems of rain fell slowly like large snowflakes on a snowy field, Delanor and Battler slowly crossed paths. Let's fucking go! It seemed slow, and yet it happened in a flash. Their gazes crossed and crashed like lightning. Night confronted night head on, and everything would be settled with a single strike. Blue and red crossed paths.
書斎内に夏日の資格が存在することがあらかじめ示されていないならばこの推理は許されノックス第8条提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。
Delano's double strike with both the blue and red blades reached out to slice Battler, and failed. Those long swords, which had never lost over the course of 100 battles, cut through empty air.
書斎に入った時その構造についてほぼあいにくだぜお嬢さん。
For the first time, an expression showed on Delano's face. It was a sudden smile. She had known about that long before. However, she still couldn't let him escape without attempting that single strike. Not even with her reputation as an Inquisitor of Heresy on the line. She still crossed swords with Battler, even though she knew it would fail.
ええ、知っていました。あなたのこの答えはノックス第8条の提示。
恨むなよ暗いな。
いざ来たれ。
Yes, come. In Battler's hand was a blade that shone red. That blade etched out the red truth. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Kinzo's study was a small villa he had created inside the mansion. A study, a library, a place to sleep, and a bathroom and washroom. It was divided into multiple rooms, that has already been shown, and suggests that there could have been a blind spot somewhere within the room. Without any mercy, no, without any reluctance, which would have been dishonorable, the sword of red truth cut into Delano. It cut a beautiful hemisphere through the countless gems of rain that filled the sky.
見事です。
Time exploded into life. Both of them fell through the courtyard. One drifted down, the other tumbled through the air. Then there was a soft sound and a dull thud. The first was the sound of Battler landing gently in the courtyard. The second was the sound of Delano crashing down. After crouching down for a while, Battler slowly stood up. Though he had jumped down from the third floor, he had landed as lightly as though he had merely jumped over a fence. Beato leaned out of the study window, looking to see if the supposedly wingless Battler landed safely.
ビアト来い飛べその窓が俺たちの出口のだから飛べお前は密室に閉じ込められてるような魔女じゃないだろうが
The study was no longer a closed room. She could jump from here, escape from here. By now, the closed room that had threatened to capture the witch and suffocate her had been destroyed.
心臓も
行け。バトラーが答えを見せた時点でわしの魂はすでにこの密室を逃れておる。
Kinzo's form became a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. The closed room barrier had dissolved, and the power that denies magic had scattered. Beato ran towards the window. That was the only exit from the closed room of this witch hunt. After glancing at the Chester sisters and the subordinates of the Inquisitor of Heresy, she readied her wound-covered body and ran towards the window just like Battler had done. She looked like Cinderella running as she heard the bell toll.
逃がすもんですかベアトリーチェ魔女幻想
Erika flew at Beato, trying to latch onto Beato as she dashed. But it was like trying to catch smoke, and she landed face first on the floor. Nice! There's no way a human could catch a witch. For one such as her, without love, even touching Beato was impossible.
システ隊魔女を撃って撃ち殺して照準抵触せず発砲近景バトラの青き真実を防げる結界の準備
Both Chester Zero and Gertrude spoke with unbelievably calm voices.
誰にも止められないの。バトラも金蔵もベアトリーチェもこいつらが逃げ出したら私の密室が
Fuck it, suck it!
この探偵ウルドエリカが
You ain't shit! Oh, yeah, scream louder. Oh, I love it. More. Yeah, that's that good shit. Erika crouched, screaming and clutching at her head.
天下の黄金の魔女がジジイのカビ臭い書斎ごときて打ち破られてるんじゃねえ。まだ第一の番だろうが、新参どもにお前のゲームが甘くないってことを思い知らせてやれ。
Just like Battler, Beato also flew. She drifted down through the rain treasure box world and into Battler's chest. Battler caught her with both arms, as though catching a feather from an angel. Nice. It was like a knight catching a princess who had been locked up in a tower. Like a beautiful picture of a scene in some fairy tale.
やっばい。ほら、後ろ宮家の当主ってこういうやつらばっか。
後ろ宮金蔵の破天荒を記す書斎の魔導書の数に負けぬ長い波乱の物語が書けるでしょう。その次の当主の物語も記す価値が大いにありそうだ。いえいえ、もう記しておりますと、それはもう長い長い物語。
Yeah, no, I agree. Battler's story is a very, very long tale. The demons giggled on top of the roof, holding umbrellas. Then they quietly looked down over the two in the courtyard.
お前やるな。
お前のゲームで何回鍛えられたと思ってんだよ。
In shock, Beato actually praised Battler as he held her in his arms. Battler laughed in his usual carefree way.
こんなことがありえない。ありえない。
Erika looked down from the window and clenched her teeth, still clutching at her head. Suck it. Still holding Beato in his arms, Battler grinned back.
エリカ、
Suck it.
何ですか。
黄金の魔女の謎はお前にはくれてやらねえ。俺が解く。こいつはな、俺たち二人の謎なんだよ。な、ベアと。
わらわの謎は。
そう。
Yo. When Battler laughed evilly, Beato's face turned uncharacteristically red. Even so, she spoke while laughing loudly.
わらわの謎はそなただけのものだ。後ろ宮バトラー、他の誰にも解かせてはやらぬ。
こいつめ、ふざけたこと言いやがって。
Battler snorted, amused that Beato had said something so out of character. And still holding Beato in his arms, he spun around in a kind of waltz. The falling gems of rain celebrated their victory over this trial.
3階の窓から飛び降りて密室を脱出。ふざけてます。こんなの推理じゃない。めちゃくちゃです。
If Battler had at least been seriously injured and writhing in the mud, Erika might still have had some ground to stand on. She might have been able to claim that Kinzo couldn't have jumped down with his old body and gotten away unscathed. However, Battler stood calmly in the courtyard, looking up at Erika with the dignity of the victor. Suck it.
皆さん、もうこんなのありえませんよ。人間が3階の窓から飛び降りて。そうでしょ。みんなましてや老体の金蔵さんが3階から飛び降りてみせるなんて、こんなの推理じゃない。
Erika tried to get everyone's agreement and somehow turn things around, but their responses were no different from how they'd been a short while ago.
いや、金蔵さんならありえますな。
親父ならやりかねね
え。お父様だものね。
武勇伝の王よ人や。それくらいじゃ驚きもせんで。
あんたたち頭も正気もどうかしてんじゃないですか。
いずれにせよ、あなたの密室議論は完璧ではなかったわね。
Not only the servants, but the family members also agreed. They all agreed that there was nothing strange about Kinzo jumping down from a third-floor window. Just who in the world is this Ushiromiya Kinzo person?
まあ60点というと若かりし日の金蔵ならもうひとひねり欲しいところだ。
おお、どの程度にひねる？
そのわら
わかった。次の機会には
やれるものならやってみよう。
Nanto's voice grew very faint and she gulped. Then her body suddenly crumbled away into a cloud of gold butterflies. That was because many people had rushed up to the window, and she was being bathed with gazes filled with the anti-magic toxin. Beto's body became invisible to them and melted into the air. So to their eyes, it appeared that Battler was standing all alone out in the courtyard.
Battler! 大丈夫か？
ご無事そうです。よかった。敗北です。では主催の彼らのためにも私にとどめを。あの主催の密室でいかにして金蔵が逃れたのか、その最後の青き真実を。
There's no pain in Delano's expression. Pleasure and pain never showed up on her face in the first place. However, she was only barely able to rise to her feet, using her longsword as a crutch, so it was easy to guess how heavily she'd been damaged. And despite her lack of an expression, you could tell that this was a loss she could accept. Battler and Delano turned to face each other.
行くぜ。
いざ来たい。
Yes, come. As though readying herself, Delano quietly closed her eyes, but she still stood tall and maintained her air of dignity.
これが俺の青き真実だ。
Blue power gathered. Battler slowly approached Delanor. Then he faced the rainy sky and yelled out the blue truth.
後宮金蔵は夏日おばさんの目を盗み、夏日おばさんはそれに気づかず、これで夏日おばさんが23時にじい様の就寝を見届け、扉のレシート封印と実際に脱出可能であることはこの俺が実証した通り。以上でこの戦いを決着する。
The blue wedge flashed through the courtyard along with the blue bolt of lightning, roaring down towards Delanor's forehead as she stared up at the sky.
ベアとのゲームは甘くね。ミステリーのお約束が通じるかどうかも怪しい。立ち筋は悪くねえが、もう少しお頭を柔らかくすることだぜ。
A massive blue wedge that looked like a pillar was above Delanor's forehead, and then stopped with its tip just slightly touching her. It didn't run her through, made no mark larger than being poked with a pencil. When Battler snapped his fingers, the blue wedge shattered and became a shower of translucent gems. No, drops of rain that poured down over the courtyard. Delanor sat down in a dazed sort of way. Amidst the thunder and rain, the successor to the Ushiromiya family headship faced the people staring down from the study and spread his arms wide.
ようこそ。俺とベアと歓迎するぜ。ウルドエリカ。
見たわ。後ろにはバトラー。グッドだわ。実にグッドだわ。食らい尽くしている魔女の謎とやらをね。腹渡の奥の奥まで生きながらにね。
Battler and Beato both looked calmly up at Erika, who couldn't contain her evil laugh. Fuck yeah.
ざまあないわね。
ベルモ、申し訳ありません。
あんたのその顔潰して額縁に飾りたいくらいに最高に笑える顔だわ。私の分身が 情けない情けない無様無様
Okay. Bathed in the sneers of Burn Castle, a being who was like a mother to her. Erika was so ashamed that it looked as though she'd chew her lower lip to pieces.
この恨みは必ず後ろ宮バトラベアトリーチェ後ろ宮夏日
Yeah, yeah, okay, shut up.
この謎は俺誰にも邪魔はさせねえぜベアトリチェ。
Hell yeah. God damn, that shit was hype as hell. Fucking love that. God damn. Oh, so fucking good. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Shit got me mad hyped. Oh. Ho 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 ho. Oh. Oh, that was everything I wanted and more. That was fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. Okay.